You know, in normal circumstances, you'd expect Lack to have a big hand here for this move.
Yeah.
Because of the position Gold is raised in, but because these guys have played with each other so much, it could be just trying to push him off whatever garbage Gold is raised with. And Gold knows that, so this is a very tough decision.
And it's a big raise as well, just shy of 11,000.
Now, I'd say, for example, if Ken had made this raise that Phil has made,
yeah,
it'd be an easy fold for Jamie,
yes,
because he'd know that Ken wasn't messing about. But because of all the banter, all the history between these two guys, it's
1,375 more.
It's a tough spot. No, Jamie's only put 2,500 in here, so we might think, well, you know, he might want to get in a race against Ace King for all his chips.
Phil, can you put your cards on the last, please?
I mean, it is a huge advantage in this position when you got more chips than the other guy, because at least I've never seen a guy get knocked out of a pot when he had more chips than the other guy. But it's mind games. I'm surprised they haven't started talking about it. Maybe Phil has a hand because he's gone remarkably quiet.
What would you be putting Lack on here if you were sitting across the table there, Padraig?
Wow.
You raise all in,
I wouldn't have been putting him on that. Wow, dude, good fold from Jamie.
That was a great fold. I really thought he was going to call. And well, so there's your leaderboard as it stands right now from the televised table. Tompkins down the bottom, but your top four all over 35,000, and the two big guns, Jamie and Phil, in the lead.
For players who want to look back and remember the day, there's always Dan the Portrait Man, who's here to raise funds for Our Lady's Children's Hospital in Crumlin. So see if you can guess what my other hobby is besides poker. Well, look at that. So now you've seen my portrait, I wonder whose picture is going to be hanging on the wall when the event is over.
So there you have it. Any suggestions of Beck's other favourite holidays? Put them on a stamped addressed envelope. Send them to yourself.
Whoever you like.
Blinds 4 and 8 there in the corner of your screen. And here is a pretty hand for Ken. Difficult hand though if someone comes over the top and re-raises against you, eh, Padraig?
Yeah, it's a pretty hand, but the position is nice too. He's around the back. He's just one off the cut-off. The problem is he's got the nuisance value behind him, Jamie Gold, who's a pretty hard guy to put on a hand and likes to play a lot of pots. I mean, I'm sure if Ken is going to get a caller here, he'd like it to come from the blind, so he's going to have position on him after the flop.
Pair of threes. Is it that tough a decision?
No, I think... Well, I can't see why you'd re-raise Ken, because, you know, Ken's got a pretty solid image.
Yeah,
so he'd probably be better off just to call the raise and maybe try and see what Ken does on the flop. See, can he push him off the hand?
Now, Personen wakes up with eights. I think again, if I'm not correct, or was it? No, he had the 9-10 in the last hand. Apologies. Tompkins has the 9-jack offsuit this hand. Another 2,000 to make it 400.
I think he'll throw this away. He doesn't have a lot of chips and he's miles out of position.
Wouldn't be a matter of value.
Well, the position isn't very good and he doesn't have a lot of chips.
Yeah, so he steps out. And, well, glad he did. Look at that for a dangerous, dangerous flop. Queen, ace of diamonds, king of clubs.
5,000.
Not a bad flop for Ken.
He's not playing it slow.
Yeah, he's not going to be worried about Ace King, obviously, because he'd probably got re-raised. Now, if he was up against that, Ace Queen's a possibility. Well, I think Ken's quite happy just to take that down.
Is he? Shouldn't have checked it and let someone else bluff in ahead of him and go over the top.
Diamonds out there. He could have got himself into a lot of trouble. I'm sure, you know, Ken's in a reasonable position. He's quite happy just to get a few callers and pick it off.
A couple slow pots or small enough pots here and there.
Chopping, it's known as in the trade. Just playing small pots, little bit here, little bit there. Never put your stack in jeopardy.
And is that Ken's
kind of game? Remember that myself. I think I went out with something pretty ugly. It was Jack 5.
You don't have to admit that to the nation.
Oh, four, 2,500.
Half of them know it already.
Most of them put you on a jack too. Here we go. We've got gold with the 5-8 of clubs. Not the most exciting of hands, but just as you suggested at the top of the show here, Padraig, he is playing aggressive. 2.5 grand.
That's one.
What, it's just 8-5 of clubs is like mother's milk to Jamie. You know, he likes to play a lot of pots. He likes to mess about. Anything semi-suited connectors is it's considered practically the nuts in Jamie's household. He's having one hell of a time over here, Jamie. I mean, he's told anybody who listened that this is the best tournament in Europe, and he's coming back every year.
Yeah, he says he loves it.
He likes the way he's treated in Ireland. You know, the Irish Open has got a tremendous reputation for friendliness and for a bit of crack at the table. And, you know, Jamie, as a world champion, was expecting people to be bowing and scraping to him and all of that.
Yeah.
But it's just, but the rules in Ireland are, I mean, you can fit in and be one of the boys,
Absolutely.
or forget about it. I mean, so he loves that.
Yeah, I heard he was up in the bar till 4 o'clock in the morning with double waters.
But
Getting on with everyone.
it was a pretty clear liquid anyway.
I know, I was kidding. I was kidding. What do you hit? I got a big hand. Hey, come on, you can show me. I'll tell you what, I'll show you one.
Wow, what a flop that was for Phil Lack.
Actually, I can show this one. Wow.
He must have showed the deuce.
Could be anything with that other card.
As good as it is for them, though, the big guns coming over here, you got to say it's also great for all the newcomers into the game.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've had some of the greats over at this tournament in the last few years. I mean, Mike Sexton, Dan Harrington, the great Doyle Brunson was here last year. This is Phil Lack and Jennifer Tilley have been here twice. It's Jamie's. But, you know, that's how big this tournament is, that the biggest names in poker want to come to Dublin. And the thing is, when you get them over here, they want to come back.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Hopefully they keep on returning. This is, of course, the oldest tournament in
As long as
Europe.
they don't win.
Charge them some special tax on the way out. Now, here's our new seated player at the table, going by the name of Jeffrey Vancuro, or Vanchuro.
They trapped us.
But he has folded down this hand, and Elmar on the 9-5 is going to call ace, 7 of clubs,
Check a bit.
a king,
Check a bit.
or four-handed. Doherty in there with a pretty hand.
Four-handed, so I can't really say anything.
What was it you were saying about his image? And about
2,500. Call.
Big blind is a big blind.
By the way, if Ken should fold, we could go into talk mode. Yeah.
Well, I think you're going to be able to start talking pretty soon.
By
yeah.
the way, I'm going into bomber mode. I'm not saying a word. I'm not saying a word. Maybe I have what I had last time. I'm in bomber mode. Maybe I just have what I had last time. Oh man, you got so
Check.
lucky, Phil. Look at that.
Jamie trying to pretend he had
I'll
something.
check just in case.
Check a bit. Check a bit.
Can't see Jamie not having a stab here.
Checking the flush twice?
Well, I think I can confidently predict that Jamie would bet and Phil would call him.
Is Jamie going to have a pop at it?
Yeah.
With nothing jack high?
Well, he's not going to win a showdown without betting. But I don't think it's a great option to bet here because
Make a move at it and I get called.
he's now explaining why. You know, Phil had to have called him on the flop with something. I mean, either the ace, the king, or the flush draw. And all of them are beating a jack-8 offsuit.
4,500.
Is there anything that Jamie could bet there to get Phil off it, do you think? As soon as he's hit that king.
Well, he could bet an awful lot bigger, but he could be walking himself right into trouble, so he's not going to do that.
Well, then you should call. Nice.
Yeah, and it's just a call. These boys know their game. Another 4.5 into the middle. I think it's a 17,000 pot altogether.
Now I'm just gonna fluff off all my
Well, Lack
chips.
just tells us how much Jamie could have bet to get him off the hand. He says it's 8,000.
Go down while we're on
3.5 short.
3,500.
Just go down with the ship.
Go down with the ship. We've heard that one before. It's very good in theory until that ship starts sinking.
Here's Mika making a bit of a move. We haven't seen much action from him yet at our televised table.
3,500.
Well, even if he wanted to talk, he wouldn't get a word in edgeways here.